back to another chaotic video
about our chaotic lives.
Today we're talking about a
serious subject.
Yeah, maybe slightly controversial. We're definitely need to make a disclaimer on this video, just because, you know, the type of content it is, maybe also a trigger warning, I don't know. Yeah.
We will be talking about dark, scary stuff.
Sex trafficking and, you know, children and prostitution and all kinds of things like that. This will be about Korea, obviously. We have experienced it in. We could be wrong.
Yeah.
But we are going by personal experiences we've had, what people we know who live there, and also some facts that are on the internet just about sex trafficking as a whole in Korea. So this is coming from multiple different sources. So this is just us saying what we know about sex trafficking in Korea.
Yeah, we're not an educational video in no way, shape, or form. Are we trying to state facts other than just what we heard of, what we've seen, and what we've experienced?
Yeah. Also just like a warning, like if you're young and you're a female particularly and you go to Korea, just be on the lookout for these signs.
Traveling anywhere, honestly. And like another thing, even though this, like, we might not have all the facts right, just having some kind of education about this is important. Learning about this kind of situation and how to avoid it and how to keep yourself away from it, and to just, you know, like if you see other people in need and stuff, it's just good to be educated about it, period. So if you have time after this video, maybe you should do a quick like Google search.
Yeah, learn about it as much as you can, especially if you know, want to travel there. But anyways, let's just get into what we know. I don't really even know where to start. I guess we could start off with some statistics about it. I was looking up earlier. In Korea itself, there is between, South Korea, there's between 500,000 and 1.2 million people in the sex trade, you know, right now. A lot of them, you know, are South Korean teenagers, girls who run away from home. They get into, I saw one article said they got into finding like pimps, and they got into prostitution or you know, being sold like that.
Now that, like, I feel like is kind of known all throughout Korea. Even like a lot of Koreans know that there's a lot of like prostitution, like borderline prostitution, especially like at like the karaoke rooms and stuff. You can rent
certain restaurants,
entertainment.
You
know, and it's kind of like, yeah, we all know what that is. But so it's kind of like known, but not like
widely put out there. I mean, we all know, like in K-dramas, if you watch them, you
can
see it.
Like they know about it, but there's nothing that they can really do. That they can really do, except just be knowledgeable of it. But
I know that they tried to stop it with their, I think it's called the red light district. They tried to like really put an end to it, close down a lot of the homes that the women would live in. And try and, you know, stop from happening. So I know they did that, and it's off the streets, like out in the open, but it's still underground. It's still happening a lot.
That's everywhere.
Yeah. So it's just, I guess that's like the main thing. They do say between 20 and 30,000 North Koreans every year get sold into the sex trade. Typically they get sent to Russia, but there are still a lot of them that will also get sent down to South Korea. At least I'm pretty sure the article was saying. As well as with Russians being sent to Korea, you know, Thai people, which pretty much they do all get sent. Yeah, so that's basically like the statistics that I have found.
Not too many, but just a little, like, and even though like it says like a lot of the like Koreans or North Koreans, you have to remember like that's South Korea. They're filled with Koreans right next to North Korea. So of course it's more Koreans that are in sex trafficking than it is foreigners, but there still is an up and coming.
I think it's becoming more and more recent.
Yeah.
Probably because of the fact that slowly, I mean, every single year, I mean, obviously not this year because of coronavirus, but every single year, the foreigners that are coming and going into Korea just keep rising and rising and rising and rising. So that's more and more and more victims that is going to get caught.
And I've noticed, like, since Korea is like a new and upcoming country, like they've kind of developed fast in like such a short amount of time, other than like America or England or, you know, like, or Canada that has had long time of like establishing, but Korea kind of just like poof, whoop,
Yeah.
big place.
With what? Been 60, 70 years?
Yeah, and
So
it's like they're running into problems that you kind of see that we as Americans or like other countries have kind of dealt with in the past, and they're kind of is going away a little bit, but not too much.
just like the cults in general, that is one of the leading ways that people are sex trafficked in Korea, is through that.
Yeah.
So
Now, like, I was approached, I had a woman come up to me, and she was trying to preach to me, and I kind of entertained it a little bit because I was trying to be nice. I think I was going to the library. They are using religions to kidnap people. There have been stories of how they'll approach someone and then they'll either scam them for money, or they will kidnap you, or they will kidnap your children. There have been people, like a lot of foreigners' kids, that will just be picked up out of the basket and then carried off as the mom's like grocery shopping. So you have to just be very aware.
anything like that. These are the crazy cults that Korea has. Those are the ones that you have to be, you know, most cautious about.
Yeah.
I will say a lot of the ones that you can kind of tell are cults is I mean, everyone in Korea gives out flyers, restaurant gives out flyers, but I'm talking about like thin, like little paper flyers. They will give that to you.
So you should just be aware. Do not get yourself, you know, pulled into this.
With the people that like I've had experience with, I was walking from our apartment. I went and got something to eat, and I was going to the subway station. I had my headphones in because typically when I'm alone in Korea, I just have them in because I don't feel like dealing with people. It can be really awkward at times. So I was walking and I saw this group of, I don't know, 5 or 6 old ladies, like, could be moms. They're not like grandma ages, but they are like mom, like Korean mom age. And I thought, okay, you know, I could tell they were about to talk to me, and I thought maybe it's, you know, about teaching their kid English. I know some people have, you know, gotten stuff like that. But, you know, as I was walking past them and they stopped me, they just like bombarded me and started to like surround me basically, and just kept trying to like push it and push it and push it.
Speaking English to you. They were saying like something in Korean. I remember you telling me, and they were like, yeah,
they kept speaking in Korean and some in English, and I was just, when people are in a group of people is surrounding you, that is when you need to like worry. I just kept walking. I was like, no, I'm not going to, you know, do anything to, you know, be involved in that. There is a few certain things that I guess some people have found that'll work to get them to leave you alone. One of them is just walking away. Sometimes if you say the right things, they'll walk away, but that just depends on the person and who they are. So I would be most concerned about one single person, like what she had, being super pushy, or obviously a group of people.
Especially if they're surrounding you,
That's terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, there's other things that you can look for. You should do research online and figure out like their tactics of trying to get people. But now that we've talked about like what you should look out for, we should talk about how to deal with the situations, or how to even avoid the situations. Like you said, you use headphones a lot. A lot of people won't come up to you if you have headphones. I've like found out that if you walk with a purpose, a lot of times they don't mess with you.
You just keep walking no matter what they're gonna say. To me, if it's a group of people, and even Korean people, if you don't know them, just keep walking. There's no need to stop for that. They will kidnap you and bring you into the sex trade. And I'm sure if, you know, she would have came to the house, it would have been like in Taken, and the girls get to where did they go? Paris
or even like
that.
Even if I just gave her like the generalized area where I lived and like met her out like down the street or whatever, that could be dangerous, because you like, okay, another way you can avoid is walk different ways sometimes. Never get in a pattern of how you walk to places. Like, I could meet her down the street and then maybe she won't kidnap me that day, but they'll be watching me. Like, say they watch me, and then like they choose the right time when there's not a lot of people, when I'm out late and stuff. So just make sure like you're not putting yourself in a pattern. And
look for suspicious foreigners too.
Yes. And we're not trying to say like if you go and travel that you're like immediately a target. You're not, like, chances are you're not going to get kidnapped. No one's going to really like try and get you. But there is a possibility. So that is why we're trying to say beware. Our dad is kind of very into like protecting yourself. So, you know, it's what do you lose from learning how to protect yourself?
Yeah, and learning what to look out for. I would say worry more about areas where there's not a lot of foreigners. I would say that's where I experienced it.
I don't know. I feel like they would be in a lot of foreigner places because that's what, you know. But
where I experienced it anyway, there's not a lot of foreigners. So, you know, just be careful. That's all I can really say.
I experienced it where there was quite a few foreigners, not a lot, but
I think
this world is scary. Like, do not trick your mind. Like, there are people out there that want to take you and want to do bad things to you.
Even as safe as Korea is, we all know Korea is very, very safe. We talk about it so many times about staying out late till 3 in the morning, you know, staying out, you know, to watch the sunrise on the beach. Like, that is safe. We do it all the time, but we also know what to look out for, what to avoid,
where to go.
Yeah, you know, it's all just about,
and like I said,
being aware. That's what it is. Self-awareness. Really.
Do not get into a pattern. Sometimes walk this way to home. Sometimes walk this way to home. Like, when I lived in Korea for 5 months, I had like 3 different routes that I would walk occasionally. I mean, granted, I would find myself getting stuck in the routine because one's faster than the other, but sometimes I'd switch it up. And sometimes one area was kind of dark and creepy, but no one knew I was going to be there.
But obviously, I would say if you're on a bicycle or on an electric scooter, those are your better options because you can, you know,
zoom away.
Yeah. But yeah, just be careful.
And just like educate yourself of the area that you're in. Find out, okay, where are the
look
local...
on the map before you go. Like, if you get Kakao map.
That's like the first thing we look at when we get Airbnb. Like, they give you the generalized area of where it's at. First thing we look at is what's around the Airbnb.
And you can go on Kakao map. You can click to like bring the little icon like onto the street, kind of like a street view, and you can see, oh, what's around here? What does it look like? Oh, this must be my apartment. You know, let's see what ways can I go? What's around me? Like, all those kinds of things. So you already know ahead of time. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. You know, this gets me here. Find where the local hospital is, where there's police. Also, remember, like, what is very popular, like if you are in a situation where you have to run to safety, like, try and remember, okay, what has lots of, like, where is there a lot of lights, where are there actually quite a few people even when it's dark and you know, like during the night. So just be mindful of your area. Like, that is just and even if you are out alone, like, I mean, last year when we went, we stayed about, I don't know, it was like a 2-minute walk down to Han River. But the area of Han River that I was at was not an area with a ton of people. I mean, there were a lot of people exercising, but I would go to, like, I don't know, I think I went there like 11, 12 by myself. You know, it is kind of dark, there are a lot of trees, it was a little sketchy, a little creepy. But, you know, just keeping aware of your surroundings. It's safe. I did it multiple times.
And I might look crazy, but when there's someone walking behind me, I'm always like looking behind. So maybe those people think I'm crazy because I'm kind of like looking behind, but I want that person to know I'm watching you, because if that person is someone that wants to kidnap me, they're going to be very hesitant to do it when I know I'm mindful of them. They're going to be like, whoa, this chick is like checking me out, she's suspicious of me, I better get out of here.
And just remember, no matter what they have, whether they do have some sort of weapon, if you make noise or you fight in any way, shape, or form, the chances of them actually trying to do anything with you they go down tremendously. So even if they do have some sort of kind of weapon,
fight for your life.
Yeah, make as much noise as you can. You know, go after them. Don't let them go after you.
Remember, if they are this close to you to hurt you, you're also this close to them to hurt them. So, and if someone is trying to get you, It is literally fight for your life. So if I have to kill this person in order for me to survive, which obviously I don't want to kill somebody, but if someone is trying to kidnap me and has like a knife or something, I'm going for the eyes, I'm going for the throat, I'm going for like everything that is vulnerable that is gonna induce pain. Yeah, the groin area. Our mom's behind here like motioning, like, you know, just everywhere that I know that if I attack,
kick them in the nuts.
The adrenaline is not going to be enough to make it painful, like to mask the pain.
Yeah.
Enough where I can at least get away, or like you're just going to be done.
Let's say worst comes to worst. Okay, let's say you do somehow get stabbed. You can recover from a stab wound. There is no chance. There's not a guarantee from being kidnapped and being sold into the sex trade. There's a chance, but it's very, very low. You have a higher chance of surviving from that stab wound.
And honestly, if you think about this, if they're gonna put you in the sex trade or whatever, they don't want to damage their goods.
Exactly.
So they're gonna be hesitant to stab you unless they're trying to rob you, which I don't really see a lot of robbers in Korea. But still, you get the point. If they're this close, you go for it. Like, do not hesitate. You are past human morals, okay? You need to just
6 feet, people. 6 feet.
Yeah. Yes.
Just remember the coronavirus rule. 6 feet.
I feel like sometimes, like, if I'm like in a very like paranoid state and someone's walking close to me, I'm like, what you doing? Like, why are you here? Like, you know, I'm like startled. I'm like, what are you doing?
That's everybody right now. Like at the grocery store earlier, this lady was like this close to me, and I'm like, woman, back up 6 feet. What do you not understand about 6 feet?
I wish we could make a video of frustrations of coronavirus, because there's so many complaints I have of people. Like, remember that person at Walmart yesterday, and they literally had their son in a what's it called? Stroller. Like right next to Emily as we're doing the groceries and they're doing the groceries. The child is this close. Like, do you not get that you're supposed to be 6 feet? Why would you put, you know, the most vulnerable person in your family next to someone that could potentially have it? Like, their child, their young son.
Being rushed.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, if you have any questions or, you know, anything else that you might want to know, we can try and answer it. Comment down below,
or if you want to educate us more.
Yeah, let us know about things you know about it. Maybe we don't know. But yeah, so that's all for today. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at The Traveling Southerners.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, give
Push
this
that
video
notification
a
bell.
big thumbs up.
Notification bell.
Yeah, notification bell, subscribe. And yeah, that is all for today. So, bye.
Bye.